Hey guys, it's Lizzie. So this is a video I never thought I would make. The past 3 or 4 years of my life were leading up to this point. I had a laser focus that was what I was doing with my life, and then a couple months ago everything changed. So it was not my decision to not go. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you've probably heard me mention that I'm moving to Thailand to do missions work. I was so excited about it. Disclaimers before I get into the story and tell you guys what happened and explain where I'm even living right now because I moved across the country. So right now I am incredibly happy. Everything worked out perfectly when this other thing didn't work out at all. I'm living with some girls I went to college with who are amazing. I'm having so much fun. I'm incredibly happy. Everything is going perfectly. So I don't at all want you guys to take this as, oh my gosh, my life is horrible. I'm so sad. Like, I'm not sad. Like, I was crying about this like 2 months ago, and now I'm just trying not to think about it, but I'm really happy. But this was very abrupt and jolting and completely shocking. I haven't even told a lot of my friends about this. Like, I moved and I didn't even tell most people I was moving because I just don't want to have to tell this story over and over again. So for those of you who maybe don't know, I went to Thailand through an organization called Let's Start Talking every summer of when I was in college. So after my freshman, sophomore, and junior year. A lot of people go on short-term missions trips, and it's like you're building a house for a week or you're doing service trips for a week and you're hanging out with your youth group. But for me, it was a lot different. I was living there for 6 months each summer, and I was living in an apartment with some of the Thai Christians. I would literally spend all day with these people. We would have all our meals together. I became super close with a lot of my readers because we would have like hour-long reading sessions where we just talked about our lives. Like, I literally spent every day for 6 weeks for 3 summers in a row with this church, with this group of people. So I just want to clarify that this wasn't like a short-term missions trip type thing. It was like I got very emotionally invested in this group of people. I love them. I would pray for them once I got back to America. I also spent a lot of my own money to go over there. Plane tickets are really expensive. We had to fundraise like $4,000 each time, and a lot of you actually, some of you helped to donate back in the day, but a lot of it was like my own money from my YouTube channel I would save up to go to Thailand. It was also exhausting there. We were working constantly, kind of overworked. It was just exhausting because I'm more introverted. Being around people constantly, it was super intensive, but obviously it was worth it. It was what I wanted to be doing. I love these people so much, and the second summer I was there, I had a conversation with one of the church leaders and basically inviting me to live there after I graduated college. That's when I decided. I promised God. I was 20 years old at the time, the summer after my sophomore year of college. I had always thought I would go to grad school or law school after college. I never really planned on doing missionary type work long term, but it's just like I knew that that was the type of work I wanted to do. I could see myself waking up every single day teaching English, having morning devos with this church, having all my meals with them being my family there. I could just see that being the most amazing life and what would make me incredibly happy. It wasn't just like, oh, I want to give and help out this church. It was like they also poured into me. Like, it was just using all of my skills. I was completely content when I was there. I could go on and on and on about Thailand, but that's just to get you caught up if you're kind of new here and you like don't know what I'm talking about. And this is kind of where it gets kind of sad. I remember like 2 of the girls over there were like my best friends there. They took care of me. One of the summers I was in severe depression. I didn't even know it was a depression episode, but I was just exhausted constantly and I felt sick, and they would like bring me medicine and make me food and take care of me, and like they would notice like when I was faking happiness. No one notices that, but these 2 girls, they would notice when I wasn't okay. I'm about to cry. Oh my gosh. I was not wanting to cry in this video. So like 2 of the girls there just always, they could see through my facades and they knew me. I could share a bajillion other stories of how important all of this is to me, how much they taught me about how to be a Christian, and just all these things. So I planned to move there right after I graduated from college. Maybe go home for a month that summer, but then immediately move to Thailand. And I planned to live there for 3 to 5 years. I was even talking with some of their church leaders about going to another country in the area, so this was going to be a long-term commitment thing, and I was 100% about it. I'm sorry this is such a long story, but I feel like if I don't explain everything, then you don't understand like why I was crying so much 2 months ago. Like, it doesn't make sense unless you know the whole like backstory and emotions about it. So my bipolar fully kicked in my junior year of college. Partway through the second semester of my junior year is when I went into a severe depression episode. So then my senior year was just super bad as well. I failed a ton of classes, barely graduated. So my parents, I mean, it was my decision, but my parents really supported it. They kind of wanted me to take some time off before going to Thailand. So I thought I would just come home for the summer and figure out my medication and then move to Thailand around August. Instead, once I got home after college, my bipolar got worse. My depression set in again, really severe depression. It took me forever to get onto the right medicine. Also, I felt like there was all this emotion unleashed and there was so much to cry about, and it was just like I had to, not physical therapy, but do like mental therapy. Like I had to remember how to cook, how to drive, how to talk, how to laugh. Like, I felt like I was in depression for so long, I literally forgot how to like be human because I was just in this autopilot state. So I realized how I was just in such bad shape after college, and so I wanted to take some more time off. So I kind of just kept like pushing back moving to Thailand to make sure my brain was healed and okay. And I don't know, like in college you're doing so much, you're so involved. I was doing ministry constant, nonstop from like my sophomore year of college on, you know, even the summers working in Thailand. Like I never had a break. So I ended up taking a whole year off because I was in such bad shape. One thing that was happening is like I would go to a church service and go to, you know, the worship where everyone is singing, and I would just start like sobbing, like crying so hard because I felt so hurt by God for not being able to, like I felt like he deserted me when I was in my depression. Obviously, he didn't desert me. I just felt like he did because I had no emotion during that time. But just processing all of that spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, it was just so much. So anyway, so I took a year off before immediately going to Thailand. So I don't want to get into specifics just because I don't know who's going to watch this video. Everything was set in around May. I communicated with the leaders of the church I was going to be working at, and it was really positive. I feel like I can read people's like vocal intonations and stuff and like micro body language, and like I can tell if someone is being authentic with me. So there was nothing, like it was very genuine that they were excited that I was going to move there. I was set to submit my visa application. I started looking at flights. I was so excited. It was finally happening that I was moving to Thailand. I remember one of the things they told me is that like the best thing about me is that I don't bring my personal theology into things, because obviously I have things I disagree with their church on. In Church of Christ, it's just everyone has their own theology. I mean, there's basic things we agree on, but then there's differing things. And so like one thing is I'm more liberal, where I think women should be able to pray in front of the church and like pray in a group, and like their church is super conservative, and so obviously I respect that. When I'm there, I'm super submissive to their authority because I'm not the leader of the church and I'm just like a helper. That was always super clear through the Let's Start Talking training, and that was my philosophy. Like I always prioritize the peace of the churches in Thailand above my own thinking. And they knew that, like they felt that from me, and that's what they communicated to me like a few months ago. So it was not my decision to not go. Like what I wanted the absolute most is to be in Thailand right now instead of here, which kind of sucks to say because I'm actually really, really happy I'm here. Like I'm around all my friends. Like I'm really, really happy here. I just want to reiterate that. I don't want people to think like I'm so sad. So I can't even tell you guys what happened because I wasn't given a reason. I kind of get why, because like Church of Christ is a very like tight-knit community, and so it might be better to just like not communicate about it. It kind of sucks. Obviously it feels personal and it hurts. At the same time, I think it might be the best thing for everyone. I was kind of considering just choosing to not go around this summer just because my theology beliefs have shifted so much this year from the church that I grew up in. And so I almost was wondering, like, is it ethical for me to go be a missionary for a church that I personally like disagree with. If you're not in Church of Christ, like there's literally so much theological diversity that I never really thought of it, but for the past like 5 years, like my theology has been changing a lot. But one of my best friends, she just said, you'd be lying to yourself, almost like betraying yourself by going there and kind of identifying with a church that I feel like I disagree with. So I know this is super ambiguous with what I'm saying, so I just want to say this right now. I am in the midst of like a theological, not a crisis because I feel really peaceful about it, but a lot of changes are happening within me. And I'm not going to talk about it 100% for probably about another year because I'm not 100% with what I believe. But I've been reading a lot about the early church, just primary documents from what was going on, from what they believed in the 1st and 2nd century. And there's a lot of things that are just way different from the church I grew up in. I have nothing holding me back anymore. Like, I don't have to be aligned with this church. I can go to literally whatever church I want to. So I'm in a place where I'm open to converting into any church. And my thing is that there are 30,000 different churches. Everyone claims their church is closest to the truth, going by the Bible, the most like the early church. And there's got to be one church that is actually the closest or is exactly what Jesus intended us to be. So I have this gigantic reading list. I'm going to read like 30, 40 books over the next year, and I'm going to decide based upon the primary sources of the early church, all these people explaining the cultural context of these primary source documents, the cultural context of the Bible. Based upon that, I'm going to decide to lifelong convert into the church that is closest to the Bible, closest to the early church. I know a lot of people think you should pick a church based upon, you know, the worship set that you vibe with. A lot of people have been telling me, oh, you should become Episcopal, like your views fit that. But no, I don't want to go to a church that fits with me, that I like. I want to change myself to fit my theological beliefs with the church that is the truth. And so I just want to be completely upfront because I don't want people to feel like they're being manipulated by me. And I know some people would just unsubscribe if they knew everything I was thinking right now. And that makes me like incredibly sad. I've been reading a lot of comments saying that I'm not a Protestant anymore, that I've been sharing things that just aren't Protestant theology, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, if I had converted to becoming Catholic or converted into the Orthodox Church, I would tell you, like when I convert into whichever church I choose, I will tell you, I'll make a video about it. But right now, I need a ton of emotional space because I was really wrong about a lot of things theologically. Like I was wrong about so much. I've changed my mind on so many things. Oh my gosh, people are like walking down my street and like staring at me. So a lot of you have helped me a lot. I read so many comments. People have been giving me book recommendations, article recommendations. So I have my reading list. I'm gonna read everything and then decide. So life doesn't go my way is the point of this video. I really wanted to move to Thailand. I wanted to be doing ministry right now. Instead, I feel like ministry is being done with inside of me. It was really hard the last week I was in Florida because I was just organizing my entire room, going through everything. And I had a ton of cards, gifts, clothes from Thailand. My birthday is in July, so I always celebrated it in Thailand for 3 years. So people would write me thank you cards and make like cute little birthday gifts, and I have so many clothes from camps we went on or like things I bought there, you know, like so many things from Thailand. And even like on freaking social media, like on Instagram, Facebook, I see all these people who I love, who I feel like I'm never gonna get to see ever again on earth, and it's horrible. I was just crying looking through everything, and I didn't want to bring anything here that like reminded me of that because I don't want to just be crying and, you know, upset that I'm here, because I'm not upset that I'm here. I'm really, really happy. Like everything's going perfectly, like literally perfectly. Like perfect is how I've been feeling the past week. Everything is going perfect. Like everything feels perfect, but then this was what was supposed to be going on. But I also feel like this is just the beginning. Church of Christ, everyone knows each other, and I know that what I'm doing right now, when I convert out, it's gonna be people are gonna find out and tell other people, and I feel like I'm disappointing all these people who I love, who I care about, who poured into my faith my entire life. So Honestly, that's really awful too. And that upsets me, and that has made me cry a lot. Nicole just snapped me. See, I'm so close to Nicole now. Maybe we'll make some more videos together. Comment below if you have like video requests for us to make. Oh, look at her. It's the weekend. She's in law school right now. I'm not going to be specific about where I'm living just for safety concerns, but I'm back in California now and I'm around a ton of my friends and it's absolutely amazing. I'm incredibly happy. I love my apartment. I love the location. I just love everything. I'm going to continue my YouTube channel, maybe tone down the upload schedule to 2 days a week or 1 day a week, but I'm going to continue my YouTube. I love you guys so much, and it's amazing that regardless of where I go or what happens, you guys are still here. Like my YouTube channel, this is the only thing besides God that has stayed consistent in my life. I've had it since I was 16, now I'm 23. Everything else has changed, but this is the same. It's very comforting. So I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!